Welcome to ChannelShip.com. I'm Rob D'Amico alongside Michelle Rahal. We're going to get you inside the top 12 this week because everybody's going to be talking about it because there's a lot of new drivers inside that top 12, including Juan Pablo Montoya. Exactly what we expected after a road course race. So let's talk about that because a lot of people are going to talk about the chase for the championship coming up in NASCAR in the Sprint Cup Series right now. And you got Mark Martin hanging on there. Some guys looking to stay in. Mark Martin's got those 3 wins. That's important once they get down to those last 10.
Bonus points. The bonus points count. What's taken place here is that Montoya has the Formula One mentality, which is he's points racing. It's all about world championships in Formula One, and that's what counts, and that's what Juan Pablo Montoya is thinking about. They have steadily, and I think steadily improved the team. Can they hang on? That's only if they can continue to improve, and at what cost. The question is what does that do to Martin Truex, and how does Martin Truex feel right about now?
Well, I think the big rumor there is that Martin Truex is out of that ride and could be leaving, whether that's for Michael Waltrip Racing or Tony Stewart-Haas Racing. We don't know yet. Yeah, we're not sure yet, so we'll have to check in on that. Now, with Kasey Kahne winning at Sonoma, heading into New Hampshire here, 3 points behind Juan Pablo Montoya. This is important for these guys. I was very surprised. I'm surprised a lot of people haven't talked about it a lot more, is the fact that Richard Petty was in there drinking wine, sipping beer. I mean, stuff that he promised his mom he would never do.
You know, I don't have a problem with that, and I don't know that Petty has a problem with that. He's a human being, and we all evolve, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't think that that's the issue. The issue is you didn't see the excitement from Richard Petty that you would have expected to see. I don't really know why. I mean, his name is on the team, but Gillette, who owns that team, basically, has had some financial troubles with Liverpool, which is the soccer team, and being able to cover debts. And probably a lot of that has weighed heavily on them. And winning a road race for Richard Petty, his name is there. It looks great, but the excitement was missing. There was something not quite right.
I'll disagree with you a little bit there. I thought he was very exciting. I thought to see the smile on his face. I mean, drinking beer, drinking wine. I mean, the guy was having a blast. You know, it was 1999. John Andretti was the last person to get Richard Petty Enterprises back then a victory, and that's quite a long time.
But you know what I think the reason is? It wasn't A.J. Allmendinger. And I think A.J. Allmendinger is his guy. I think Richard Petty, and I've met him numerous times. He is a personality person. He loves A.J. Allmendinger, and I think he would have been much more excited to have seen A.J. in the winner's circle than Kasey, because Kasey, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen there. I mean, Kasey Kahne's contract will run out at some point, and Kasey may take off and head for the Hendricks Hills or God knows wherever GM, if GM survives all of this with all the shakeup, and if Hendrick can continue to build the engines, that's what everybody wants.
And a good point with the shakeup with RCR. Those guys out of the chase for the championship right now. I don't think they're getting back in there. I think the team's falling apart. Richard Childress came out and said, hey, we're okay. We're going to stick with GM. We're going to be fine. But, man, I got to tell you, I don't think they're up to par, and I don't think they're going to make the chase.
The thing that really confuses me is that the engines, I think that you may, at a point that you alluded to at one time was it was in transition. We know that the engines are being shared, but we also know that Earnhardt Ganassi has its own engine shop, so that even though the Childress engines are being supplied, they're probably being fine-tuned by Ganassi's shop themselves, because the Ganassi cars seem to be outperforming the RCR cars.
All right, the chase, very important. We got 10 races to go before we get to those last 10 races, and this is New Hampshire that we're up against here. And this is the first race in the chase for the championship, and I do expect it to be a good one. So watch out, see who's going to be good here, because they will be good when they get back. Now, Roush, Fenway Racing, and all those guys, they should benefit from something like this. Let's see how that plays off, because they're barely hanging on in that top 10.
Earnhardt Ganassi's going to benefit from this. It's a very flat track. It's not, it's one of those typical small oval tracks. It's very flat, very difficult to maneuver, and it's not a matter of horsepower here. I mean, it's a matter of can you get the car to turn, and that, ladies and gentlemen, has always been my gripe. somehow get these cars to actually turn. When they're in road race trim, they're balanced. You know about that now, since you've been through some road racing courses yourself. But balance is important in road racing. It's not the same thing when you get down to an oval track. It's about shifting weight and being able to have weight in different corners of the car. And they haven't quite figured how to make these cars turn the way they need to, particularly on a flat track.
Well, there's no doubt about it. It's going to be exciting, and can't wait to see how this top 10, or top 12, I should say, ends up, because you got guys like Red Bull, you got guys like Roush fighting in, out, Juan Pablo Montoya. It's going to be exciting, no doubt about it. For Michelle Real, I'm Rob D'Amico. Thank you for watching.